Hi there, thanks for joining me. Today I want to show you how to create using the Hallows Night Magic product suite. We're going to create this box. It's a pull-out slide box for king size candy bar. I created an instruction sheet. It's over on my blog, which is linked here. You can print that out. It has all of the Stampin' Up! Supplies that I use, as well as all of the measurements that you need. I also have my host code over at the top, and for every $50 spent, I will send you a free gift. So all you're going to need is king size candy bars. I found these at Target. One of the is the Reese's peanut butter cups, the pumpkins, and the other one is Snickers. I think those are pumpkins too. And they're both about the same size. So the first thing is you need is your piece of cardstock for the box base, and you're going to cut that at 9 3/4 by 5 inches. Then I got my Score Pal, my scoring board, and I'm going to score each side at 1.5 inches. And I like to use the piece of wax paper to kind of run over my cardstock because it helps the stylus tool glide a little bit smoother. Then the next thing you're going to want to do is cut up each side of these small squares. Just on one side, I did it on the long side. You just cut up to the score line. And then I cut on the diagonal each one of the small squares. As you can see here, I just went from the score line to the other corner. It just helps when you're gluing the box together. You won't see those flaps pop up. Makes it a little bit easier to put together. And then you're going to get your next piece of cardstock that is used for the lid, which wraps around the box, and that is measured at 6 3/4 by 8 1/4. And again, I am scoring it. I'm scoring it on the long side, so you lay the long side across the top. I'm scoring it at 1 3/8, 2 7/8, 5 inches, and 6.5 inches. And again, I have all of those measurements on the instruction sheet over on my blog. And then I'm just going to use my bone folder to run across those score lines to make the folds nice and slick. And then next you want to get out your DSP and cut it at 6 3/4 by 2 inches, just enough to fit right on the very top of the box. And that will go on the lid wrap. Next, I'm just sizing, making sure that I scored and cut everything correctly for the candy bar to fit. Okay, now I have everything glued on the base of the box with the multi-purpose liquid glue. It's nice and secure. I'm going to add in some of my homemade paper shred. So the best thing to do is, of course, you can always go to the dollar store and buy paper shred. But I have so many scraps. If you just get your cardstock scraps and you use either a paper shredder or those multi-blade scissors from the craft store, and you cut up your own scrap cardstock, you can make any color paper shred. One of my favorite little tricks. Okay, now that I made sure that everything kind of fits together exactly the way that I want it, and I've scored everything correctly, I'm going to use my tear and tape adhesive to put along the edge of the lid wrap where I want it. And instead of just eyeballing it, because sometimes if you fold it over just slightly too much, then it's too tight for the bottom slider to fit in, if that makes sense. So I just lightly pencil in a mark where I need to put the tear and tape. It just helps as a little guide. Ask me how I know this. I know I've messed up a couple of times. Okay, I've got everything adhered together, and I secured it by rubbing my bone folder over the edge. But now I need to put this little pull, this ribbon pull. So I'm going to take the candy and the paper shred back out, and I'm using a 1/8 of an inch hole punch, and I just punched a hole on the edge. Now I'm using the Flowers for Every Season ribbon combo pack. There's white, a very thin white, kind of like I don't want to say linen, it's because it's thinner, almost like a cheesecloth type ribbon. I just cut off, I don't know, like 2 inches, and I'm feeding it through the tiny little hole. The best way to do it was to use the pointy edge of my take your pick tool and push the ribbon through the edge. It's nice and tight, so it adds for the stability of it. But I want to secure it down, so I'm going to use my tear and tape adhesive to secure the ends of the ribbon down on the inside flap of that box. And I'm also going to use it on top of those ribbon flaps to secure down a small piece of matching cardstock. And the cardstock is just a scrap gray piece. It measures about 1 1/4 by 1 3/4 of an inch. I do have it type up on the instruction sheet, so you'll see that as well. Okay, so I have the ribbon pull done and it's nice and secure. Pull on it just to make sure that it's in good working condition. Put the candy and the paper shred back in. Now it's time to decorate the top. So you want to grab your DSP, again measured at 6 3/4 by 2 inches, and this DSP is double-sided. I chose the bats, obviously. I love this Magic in This Night DSP because one side is all Halloween and the other side can go for almost anything. There's flowers, there's black and white stripes, and it doesn't necessarily need to go just for Halloween. Okay, so now for putting the rest of the top of the box together. This is the DSP that I was talking about. It's gorgeous. I also used a piece of the black glitter paper. You get 2 full 12 by 12 sheets of this, and it's nice and thin. It looks like it would be kind of thick, but it's nice and thin. You can use a hand punch. You can use it for your dies, which is what I'm using. So this is the part of the Hallows Night Magic bundle. I'm using these two bats that are connected together in the die, and they cut out separately those bats in the DSP and then the smaller label. So I need to bring over our new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and this is the new self-healing magnetic mat. I'm cutting both the bats and the label out at the same time. Now I'm using more of the Tombow multi-purpose liquid glue, and I'm going to adhere down the black glitter label onto right in the center of the top of the box, and then using this metallic mesh ribbon, I'm just measuring it about the width of the box, so about 6 inches, and then putting it right on top of the glitter paper. So how I'm going to do that is with a couple of, you actually need 4 foam dimensionals. You're going to put 2 of them directly down on the glitter paper, and then I'm going to layer the metallic mesh ribbon right over the top of those foam dimensionals. But I'm kind of twisting the ribbon up a little bit, sort of, not twisting, but sort of folding it and gathering it in the center a little bit so that it doesn't lay flat. And then using 2 more foam dimensionals, you're gonna put those directly on top of the other two. So you're kind of sandwiching in that metallic mesh ribbon. And then I'm using the Take Your Pick tool to take off the backing to get ready to put our label. I'm using the Hallows Night Magic stamp set. It is a red rubber cling mount stamp set. And I'm using my black StazOn ink pad. And I'm just stamping Happy Halloween. And then I'm gonna trim it. I don't even know what the size is. I'm just cutting it the size of the sentiment. And there you have it, all done. I had fun making this little treat box. I hope you like it too. Hopefully you'll be able to make your own. I wanted to point out if this Happy Halloween looks different, it's because on the first one I used glitter embossing powder, and on this one I just used the StazOn ink pad for the Happy Halloween. So there you go. Happy Halloween. I hope you enjoy this holiday, even though we're still in the midst of the pandemic. Thank you, 2020. But hopefully you can make your own treat box for your friends and family.